Our family stadium. We are family. Guys, take it away. See that.
Old school, it's defined as right. It's about values. It's about discipline. It's about effort. And you see this defense that he puts on the field, ranked in the top 20 in FBS. These guys play with high effort, and nobody embodies this better than defensive end Ryan Mueller. This kid runs about a 4.9, Clay, but when you see him on the field, he gives you electricity, he gives you effort, and he gives you that push that they need. He had a huge game last year against Texas Tech with 3 sacks, and he's looking to follow that up this season.
He's hungry and humble, just like Kevin Carter
exactly.
said. Meanwhile, Cliff Kingsbury is 40 years younger than Coach Snyder, and he comes from that Mike Leach offensive philosophy. But lately, they have been beating themselves.
You're right. He brings that young, energetic coaching style, but they want to run those 85, 90 plays, and they haven't been consistent. They've turned the ball over multiple times over the past few games, and the most glaring thing to me is penalties. 16 penalties last week against Oklahoma State. You cannot beat a football team, especially Kansas State, with those kind of numbers.
Another concern for Coach Kingsbury is his quarterback. Sophomore starter Davis Webb injured that non-throwing shoulder against Oklahoma State last week. For the latest, let's go down to Kara Capuano.
That has been the big question in Lubbock all week, Clay. How is that non-throwing shoulder of quarterback Davis Webb? It was healthy enough for him to practice during the course of the week, and it's well enough for him to start tonight. Talked to Texas Tech head coach Cliff Kingsbury not long ago. He said his primary concern isn't with Webb. It's rather with protecting him. The Red Raiders need to keep their quarterback on his feet. Kingsbury also told us he wants to see a better job with fundamentals and technique from his entire team. He noted he especially wants to see improvement at that quarterback position, looking for Webb to make better decisions with the football.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kerry. He has turned it over 6 times in 4 games. These teams met in the very first Big 12 football game back in '96. Texas Tech won it. And the Red Raiders have won 8 of the 14 all-time meetings, but Kansas State has won the last 3, including a blowout win in Lubbock last year. This edition is underway from Manhattan. Kansas State won the toss, they deferred, and Jakeem Grant on the return. Get it across the 30-yard line, 21-yard return for the Red Raiders. And we'll get a look at Davis Webb right away, the lanky sophomore. Again, separating that left non-throwing shoulder against Oklahoma State. He saw a doctor Wednesday night, and he's been cleared to play, but certainly, as Kara talked about, not 100%.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it. And with this system, Clay, it's about quick passes. Get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. They're going to have to run the ball also to keep this defensive line in check. It'll be interesting to see how long he can last against this Kansas State defense.
First play, Webb throws a strike, caught by Bradley Marquez, who's having a terrific senior season. Second nationally with 6 touchdown catches. He picks up 4, so second down and 6 coming up for 2-2 Texas Tech under Cliff Kingsbury. They were sloppy at Oklahoma State last week, trying to clean up a lot of things. This is their opening series. Play fake. Throw again, complete. And trying to back his way to a first down is the receiver Dylan Cantrell. It's a gain of 5, but just shy of the first down marker.
And you see there, missed tackles. That'll be the biggest thing when you watch Kansas State. Quick passing game. Can they tackle them on the first try and get them down?
Last 2 years, this team has averaged 85 plays per game. That's the most in the nation. They waste no time. 3rd and 1. They're going to run it this time. DeAndre Washington stood up and pushed back. He did not get there. And it's going to be 4th down.
That's a great job. Great penetration by the defensive line. You see they're going to run the ball right up the middle. They got a good push. With that last second, Geary gets in there, makes the stop. Might be a little short.
Will Geary, defensive tackle, a redshirt freshman out of Topeka, making that tackle. And a man is down. Alfred Morales, junior left guard. And the left side of this line for Texas Tech is the strong side of the offensive line, which has not been great this year, to say the least. If they lose Morales for an extended period of time, that could be devastating up front.
There's no question. It looks like he can't put weight on that left leg, getting carried off by his trainers. So again, that'll be something to keep an eye on, Clay. You're right. They're very, I wouldn't say uneasy, but their offensive line has been flip-flopping. They're trying to find a nice mix, and they haven't been that consistent.
One of the most dangerous return men in the country, Tyler Lockett, is back. Semank to punt. It's a fake. Taylor Semank is going to run for the first down for Texas Tech. And how about that decision here early for Cliff Kingsbury?
I'll tell you, it's a well-called design play. Talk about 4th and 1. You give yourself a chance. Look at the blocking up front. You see everybody gets hooked. It's really an easy 1-yard run for the punter there. See on the side as they come down, no one's home for Kansas State. Got to have somebody set the edge. They get caught inside. Again, you don't see those mistakes from a Kansas State defense like that.
So they keep this drive alive. First down and 10 from the 43. Another play fake. Webb goes to the outside and misses Marquez. This team 11th in passing at 344 yards per game. 21st in total offense at just over 500. The offensive coordinator is Eric Morris, but Kingsbury calls the plays. What is the strategy against this defense?
Well, there's no question about it. They're going to have to hit these short, quick crossing routes. They're going to try to get a little running game going today. And hits just like that, Claire, will be the difference.
Grant, after the catch, still on his feet to the 40-yard line of Kansas State. He is the big play receiver. He gets 17 yards.
Right here, we talked about how many shots can Webb take from this line. Look at Ryan Mueller. We talked about him. Any chance he gets to hit the quarterback, that will affect it. Gets the ball out quickly. Nice move up the field by Grant to get that first down.
Davis Webb sacked only once all season long. They've actually done a pretty good job protecting him, and he has also done a good job of getting rid of the football when he's had to. Like you said, he can't take too many of those shots. So first down and 10 from the 40. Opening series for the Red Raiders. Marquez. Little screen. Doesn't materialize. Morgan Burns, the corner. Combines with Randall Evans on the tackle. It's a gain of 5. There's Marquez having a terrific senior year. Played minor league baseball in the Mets organization for a couple of summers, but decided to concentrate on football only in 2014. 2nd and 5. Webb complete. Caught by Jordan Davis. Tiptoeing along the sideline. Gets inside the 25-yard line. Davis making his first start of the year, I should say. Give him 12 and a first down.
Clear the outside receivers, run a quick out pass, and get up the field. Again, it's going to be important. Some of the key blockers on this team will be those receivers outside.
DeAndre Washington will run it. And it's a strong run, and it looks like a first down. DeAndre Washington, because of the uncertainty at quarterback, Anthony, you know, they want to get him a few more touches tonight.
I'll tell you, when you watch him on tape, this young man's a very good back. He's got a nice burst in the hole, but he's shifty once he gets through the line of scrimmage. To me, I think you should hand this young man off the ball multiple times in this game. Try to set him up on some play-action plays.
He's averaging almost 6 yards per carry. They give it to him again. Another good run. Got 5 on that one. He is 2nd in the Big 12 in yards per carry. Last year's leading rusher, Kenny Williams, went over to the defensive side of the ball. They were looking for a running back to emerge this year, and it's been Washington.
He has. He's done a great job, and I think we'll see a heavy dose of Washington today, more than normal for this Texas Tech offense.
10th play of the drive. Pass to the end zone, intercepted. Oh, not again. These Texas Tech Red Raiders continue to kill themselves as Burns picks it off in the end zone.
Well, Morgan Burns, he's one of the fastest DBs on this Kansas State roster, and he had a huge game last week with 3 passes defended, with led all DBs in the nation. Here, he just steps in front of this slant route. Look at that grab, one-handed, pulls it in. That's a huge play, especially in the red zone. And these are the disastrous turnovers we've been talking about, Clay, with this quarterback.
In the last 3 meetings with Kansas State, 11 turnovers for Texas Tech. The Wildcats haven't turned it over at all. And probably it will come as no surprise the Wildcats have won all 3 of those meetings. So now we're going to see the offense of Kansas State for the first time as they get it at the 20-yard line. It's a running play to DeMarcus Robinson. And very little running room. Gain of 1 as we take a look at Jake Waters completing 62% of his passes, a dual threat quarterback, second-year JC transfer from Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Yeah, he's not going to break 50, 60-yard runs, but he's very way he runs the football, he makes people miss, and he gets the yards that he needs. Carried his team on his back against Iowa State a few weeks ago. He's a very good passer and runner.
Crowd wanted a penalty, comes in late. Tyler Lockett makes the catch. You pick up of about 7 yards. Looked like there was somebody in the neutral zone. Greg Burks is our referee tonight.
Offside. Defense, number 18. 5-yard penalty, second down.
The linebacker Micah Awe was offside.
And now we'll start tracking these penalties. That's the first one. They've had a turnover. Let's see if this team can play smarter football on defense. But you see Waters, you see that jump off sides. Very easy call for the refs.
Kansas State, second down and 4. Coming off that 30-point win over UTEP last week after that close loss here to Auburn. Almost upset the number 5 team in the country. Robinson again. Only about a yard short of the first down. Robinson, the former 4-star recruit out of Wichita, brought down by Brandon Jackson. Look at the penalty numbers last week for Texas Tech. 16 for 158 against.
I've never seen that kind of number or statistic before, Clay, to be quite honest with you. These players got to play smarter. I don't know what Coach Kingsbury did last week in practice to discipline these guys or get them to get it right, but that can't happen today if they want to beat this team.
Quite a contrast in styles. Texas Tech quickly over the ball. K-State, they're more methodical. They pitch it to Robinson. He's got the first down and more. Now close to the 40-yard line. VJ Fehoko makes the tackle, but it's a pickup of 10, and K-State will move the chains.
And Jake Waters really makes this play. Let's run it out till he gets to the defensive end. He has to make a decision, and this is the toughness part. See this? He waits till that defender is just about to hit him, and he pitches the ball away to Robinson. He took it for the team, and it paid off on a big play on the outside.
Last year against Texas Tech, he threw for a touchdown, ran for 2. So the Red Raiders are aware of Waters' arm and his feet. They have to protect against both. Robinson again. Pickup of about 1.5 yards. This is the second game for Texas Tech defensive coordinator Mike Smith, who was promoted from outside linebackers coach. Matt Wallerstedt resigned after that Arkansas game where the team gave up 438 rushing. Wallerstedt, a former Kansas State player and coach, so things still in flux over there on the defensive side of the ball for Texas Tech.
You're right. He's shuffling a few players up. He's trying to get the right mix, put a little bit of his touch on the defense. Again, they just have to get rid of some of their poor habits and play better football and process information faster.
2nd and 9. Waters steps up, still looking downfield, fires, and incomplete. Intended for Lockett. It'll be 3rd down and long. Tyler Lockett, the senior from Tulsa. I mean, this guy does a little bit of everything. He came back to the football, but couldn't make the play.
It's always tough for the quarterback throwing to his left when he's right-handed. Little short arm. Hard to step into your pass, Clay, when you're rolling to the left-handed side.
Bill Snyder told us that guy was average when he got here. He is a self-made man. He works harder than just about anybody he's ever coached. 3rd and 9. Waters comes to Lockett. Great catch. And a great play after the catch to know where that first down marker was.
Really was. He's got great field awareness. They just run a double crossing route. He'll go underneath the crossing receiver on the opposite side, sits in that hole, catches it, and gets up the field and understands where he is in the field. One of the smarter players on this football team, gets it as a wide receiver. That's why he's been so successful here at Kansas State.
Chasing his dad on Kansas State's all-time receiving list. Waters keeps looking for room on that sideline, and he's escorted out of bounds. And Justice Nelson. It's a gain of a couple for Waters. Nelson, their best cover corner, did a pretty good job in pursuit. There's a look at Mike Smith. A lot on his plate the last few weeks.
Yeah, there's no question about his first opportunity. Again, he's trying to find the proper starting lineup. He's rolling players. And again, Clay, he's got a lot of young players, redshirt freshmen on this team that are playing on the defensive side of the ball.
Trying to simplify things, make things easier for the players, also for Smith. He's in that adjustment phase. 2nd down and 8. Opening offensive series for Kansas State. Waters felt the pressure, got it to an open man. Curry Sexton. Off he goes. Did he step up? No. Touchdown. A 48-yard touchdown play for Kansas State, and they're on the board first.
Well done. It starts with the protection up front. Sexton's going to come across the field, and he just feels the void. And look at Waters. Best thing about him, Clay, keeps his eyes down the field. That's where you can get big plays, and Sexton knows what to do with it. Takes it to the house on the big touchdown.
Curry Sexton. His uncle is KC Chiefs GM John Dorsey.
Not a bad guy to have in the family.
Nice guy to know if you're in the football business. So a 9-play, 80-yard scoring drive.
It was touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
I think they're going to look and see whether Sexton stepped out inside the 5-yard line. Here's another look. David Ames is our replay official upstairs.
Looks like he snuck in there, Clay. Got himself a touchdown. Looks like he got his body inside the pylon. Again, he's not the speedster on this football team. He's a possession type receiver, but he's made some big plays down the field this season. And right there, he was hungry to get it to the end zone.
This Texas Tech defense has the worst defensive efficiency among the Power 5 teams. Opponents are scoring on 38% of their drives.
The most glaring thing that I saw on tape last week, Clay, 9 explosive plays against their defense.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is runs over 15 yards and passes over 25. And the majority of them were passes.
Just an ugly start to this game again for Texas Tech. They were inside the red zone, turned it over. On a pass picked off in the end zone, and then Kansas State comes down, and even if this isn't a touchdown, but we are pretty sure it's going to be inside the 5, 1st down and goal.
It'll be tough to overturn it because of the video evidence that we have, so it has to be indisputable. I don't think they change this.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Yep. So Curry Sexton, who was terrific in that game here against Auburn. He had 11 receptions in that contest, was wide open. I mean, there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him. And he takes it in for the first score of the night. Now Matthew McCrane with the extra point. It's 7-0 Kansas State. Nice touchdown drive, turning a turnover into points. Kansas State has the early lead here in Manhattan.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots.
What isn't named after Bill Snyder?
They love him.
In and around Manhattan, Kansas. Just about everything. But it's well deserved. And the Wildcats have the early lead here tonight, 7-0. Texas Tech on its opening series got to the 7-yard line, but then Davis Webb threw an interception in the end zone. On the ensuing series for Kansas State, they go down and score. And that has been the story of the young year for Texas Tech. Mistakes. And Kansas State, you can't play like that against that team.
There's no question about it. And you just have to heighten your awareness as a quarterback, as a receiver, and find ways, if the pass is going to be off, to get in front of that DB and knock it down yourself, and just be more aware of the situations that you're in.
Ian Patterson bangs it inside the 5. Jakeem Grant The junior from Mesquite, Texas on the return, bouncing off players to the 30-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown for Kansas State.
Play first and foremost, it starts with the line of scrimmage. Watch the offensive line here. They're going to go protect great man-to-man on the outside. These players are going to have zone. When Sexton comes across, he's the middle receiver right here. Watch him just come across. You can run it, guys. See the linebackers fall in their zones. Strong safety gets caught. The void opens up. And it's big now. And Waters gets that ball in there, makes the completion.
From the 30 on first down, they throw it to Reginald Davis. And he'll pick up 7. Davis having a breakout sophomore season. Former high school quarterback, still learning the position, but developing quickly. Second down and 3. DeAndre Washington. Kansas State ready for him. There's Jonathan Truman, the leading tackler for the Wildcats. I know you like this young man. He walked on here at Kansas State. Who didn't walk on at Kansas State?
Do they use any scholarships at this? I'll tell you what, Truman's one of my favorite players. Old school linebacker, was a wrestling star in high school. This kid just goes out there and makes plays.
And now at 3rd and 3. Davis Webb steps out of the pocket, hit, but slides ahead and takes a real shot from Travis Green as he got to the first down marker. It looks like Webb's okay, but boy, that was a stinger.
He's got to be smart as a quarterback. You got to cringe here. You got to get down early. To me, it was close. His body wasn't down as he was sliding, but you got to really stay away from those hits if he wants to last in this game.
He's got a bad non-throwing shoulder. In fact, it was separated last week against Oklahoma State. Now in the play fake, throwing on first down. Coming back for it is Bradley Marquez. It was incomplete. Morgan Burns in on the coverage, second down.
I'll say one thing. Webb's showing us his toughness as a quarterback. You know, he's not the biggest frame guy. You see his left arm. He's got that harness there. So he's got a lot going on the left side of his body, showing his grit and toughness in this football game.
They'll fling it out to DeAndre Washington, looking for blocks downfield. There aren't any. Man, the purple all over the place as Mueller leads the way. It's a gain of 4. Let's go down to Karen.
Guys, James Polkin at left guard on this drive for Texas Tech. Starter Alfredo Morales taken to the locker room for further examination on his knee. His return is questionable.
Again, that's on the left side of the line, which is the strength side for Texas Tech. So that's a big loss. 3rd and 6. This team about 50% on 3rd down this year. Man, this sounds louder than 50,000. Penalty marker.
False start. Number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
17th straight sellout at this stadium tonight. They can be hard on opponents.
There's no question, and it shows. And right there, you just got to have that will and that fight to watch the football. If you can't hear as an offensive lineman, you got to keep your eyes on the ball and don't move till it snaps right there. Got himself to jump. Another penalty on this football team.
3rd and 6, now 3rd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. And the punting unit will come out as this defense has been off to fast starts, it seems like, every game this year, and so far the K-State defense off to another good one.
Yeah, did a good job. Brought a corner blitz. Morgan Burns, he didn't get there, but he was brought to the eyes and the attention of Webb. Forced the bad throw on the outside, and they get themselves off the football field.
And now Tyler Lockett wasn't able to get a return last time because they faked it. Taylor Semank ran for the first down. Greatest return man in Kansas State history. Pretty good kick. It's going to sail over Lockett's head and into the end zone. He had a 58-yard punt return touchdown last week. If I were the punter, I'd kick it away from that man every time. It's 7-0 Cats. You're watching College Football Prime Time on ESPNU, presented by 5 Hour Energy. Military Appreciation Night here in Manhattan, where the Wildcats lead Texas Tech 7-0. Of course, Fort Riley just down the road. A lot of good folks in this part of the country.
There really is. I love what these young men and women do for our country every single day. Give us an opportunity, Clay, to come up here, be safe, call these great games. I love it.
What a day it's been in college football. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the finals that have come in here in the last few minutes, as Jake Waters has the Wildcats starting this series at the 20-yard line. Pumps, sets, throws, and underthrown and nearly intercepted. Curry Sexton, the intended man. Tevin Madison. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's the true freshman corner, Tevin Madison. They're a little worried about his skill set right now, being young, but right there he showed good presence to turn his head and find the ball. You don't see that often out of young corners. I like that, what I see out of him early.
2nd and 10.
Nigel Bethel, Darius Newbold, also going to see some of those guys in that secondary tonight for Texas Tech. Keeps it. Waters, 1st down. Big run across the 40 to the 43-yard line. That's a run of 22 for the senior quarterback.
He runs this quarterback read option so well. Look at him try to get, well, actually watch this block right here. You see the defensive end's trying to take the tackle out, but he takes himself out of the play too. None of the linebackers are home to get Waters. Great run for the young man.
This guy almost single-handedly beat Iowa State earlier this year. Passed for 239, rushed for 138 and a couple of touchdowns. He has really settled in since transferring in from JC. This is Lockett. This is going to be a loss on the play. Brandon Jackson, the defensive end, wraps him up. It's a loss of 1. Jake Waters. That game against Iowa State, he really stood out.
This was the last drive, Clay. Took it on his back. These were the last 3 plays of the game right there. Big run. Again, don't run that QB run multiple times in the football game. And here's the last play. Gets himself, look at that little move there. I like it. Finds a way into the end zone. They were down at that point, Clay. Won the football game because of that man right there.
He's had 16 games in the system now. He has certainly figured it out and very confident. With that said, he is dumped for a sack. Pete Robertson had a couple of sacks last week against Oklahoma State. Gets one here for a loss of 2.
And that's what they need to do up front. They need to get pressure on Jake Waters. They can't let him have that pocket like they had on that deep pass to Sexton in the last series. Again, that's what they have to be doing every single time he's in a pass set situation.
3rd and 13. They need the 48 of Texas Tech for a 1st down. Waters out of the gun. Looking downfield. Has time. Throws. Man open. Charles Jones. Ooh, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the 1st down marker. And tackled by Madison to keep him from getting that 1st down. But maybe they're close enough here that they attempt a run here on 4th and 1.
I'll tell you what, he missed Sexton going deep here. Wasn't able to get his shoulders turned around. You see Lockett trying to get up the field, just short. They bring their big bodies in on offense, and I talked to Mike Smith, the defensive coordinator. He's going to match them up with his big bodies up front. Look at number 99, 367 pounds, Clay, on the depth chart.
I said Jones, I meant Lockett. And now 4th and 1. And now timeout. Waters calling a timeout.
Timeout.
With 1:52 to go here in the quarter. Kansas State leading. They're in Texas Tech territory, and they're on the march again. Bill Snyder Family Stadium, where the Wildcats have won 81% of their games since 1990. And out to a good start here tonight, leading 7-0 late in the 1st quarter. They're going to go for it here on 4th and about a yard.
Watch Raku Levy, number 99. He's 370 pounds over the center. Their best offensive lineman.
Waters. He's got the first down. The quarterback keeps it himself.
So here the big man right on top of the center, and watch this surge off the ball. Finney won't be denied. This offensive line is a veteran group. Great job coming off the ball. Made it easy for Jake Waters.
And B.J. Finney, the three-time team captain. Three-time All Big 12. He's on the Outland, Remington, and Lombardi lists. As Lockett goes in motion. Waters looking to throw. Pressure coming off the backside, and he eludes it. But he's not going to get away from the second wave. He's dumped at the 50 by Nelson. Justice Nelson, he's been active so far tonight. That's a loss of 3.
Raku Levy showing you a little athleticism there for 370 pounds. Number 99 gets the pressure on the outside. Good job at containing him and making the tackle by their best corner, number 31, Justice Nelson.
Raku Levy,
jeez,
367-pound run stopper, but almost got to him for the sack on that play. 2nd and 13. Waters in trouble again. Now this defense has turned it up a notch. And Levy was there. So was Robertson. That's going to be 3rd and a mile.
Robinson again coming up big, like you said earlier. 2 sacks on the bottom of the screen. Just beats one of their best left tackles, Whitehair, with a little swim move. 2 sacks early in this ball game for Robertson.
This is likely going to be the last play of the first quarter. Waters 4 of 6, 69 yards and a touchdown pass. He got it off just ahead of the end of the quarter. Waters now a step up. He is going to take another hit behind the line of scrimmage. Jackson sacks him again. Aguavin also in on the play.
We're worried about Webb taking shots in this football game. This series here, this defensive line has come up big and gotten their shots in on Jake Waters.
So Mike Smith and the Texas Tech Red Raiders defense in the first quarter on a positive note. Look at that emotion for the newly appointed DC. Here are the numbers through 1 quarter tonight in Manhattan. The biggest difference in this game, though, right now, the interception thrown by Texas Tech quarterback Davis Webb, picked off by Morgan Burns in the end zone. And after that play, Kansas State marched it down and scored. Here they're going to punt on 4th and 19. Nick Walsh, the kick. Cameron Batson on the return, gets it across 25-yard line. And the defense on that last series for Texas Tech played very well. The defensive coordinator position has had a lot of people in that chair in recent years.
It has, and you look at that list. Art Kaufman, to me, was their best one. Had this team in the top defenses in the Big 12 when he was here. He bounced over to Cincinnati with Tuberville, now at Cal. But you're right, there's been some flux. Obviously, with a new head coach comes new coordinators, and they're just trying to get it right. They're trying to get the guy in there that can put his touch and make this defense play better. And early in this game so far, Clay, they're doing a good job.
Previous play is under further review.
I think they're going to see if the ball touched one of the players for Texas Tech. If so, Kansas State recovered it. We'll have to see the replay here to be sure. Bill Snyder likes that, though. You see a smile on his face. He wants to get that replay in.
We asked him about the special teams aspect of Kansas State's game here in the early weeks, and he says, like everything else, we've been inconsistent. We need improvement. Maybe they got a break here.
Did it hit the back of the leg there of number 20? Let's see it here if we can see it. Can't see there. You're going to have to see the side view, and I don't know how many camera angles we got on that, but I don't think it's going to be enough
Tevin Madison's number 20. Did it hit him? It's really hard to tell, like you said, from those angles.
Absolutely.
David Ames, who's our replay official, is getting the same look.
Shouldn't take that long.
Or looks that you're getting at home. Here's the call.
Ruling on the field stands. First down, Texas Tech.
Yeah, they couldn't find enough to overturn that. All right, so now Texas Tech will go to work here on the 29-yard line. Cliff Kingsbury needs this offense to get something going. Inconsistent is the word he used to describe the offense through the first month and change of the season. Davis Webb complete to Jakeem Grant. Get about 3 or 4. Grant, the team's leading pass catcher, wrapped up by Randall Evans.
And again, this offense now, they're not going to take as many shots early. They're going to try to get some of those play action opportunities to maybe take a shot later, but you don't want to get that ball in the hands of the quarterback too long.
They fake the end around. Batted down and incomplete.
Guess who?
Ryan Mueller, the former walk-on who's had an amazing career here in Kansas State. This guy gets it 110 every play.
Came out of nowhere last year. All Big 12 all of a sudden last season. All-American player, 11.5 sacks. You see him here just fighting the right tackle. He's got that 3-inch vertical leap, just enough to get the ball down. I love it.
Webb now 8 of 13, 59 yards and an interception. On 3rd and 6, he steps into one and whistles it down the middle of the field, incomplete. Wow, Jordan Davis took a hit from Travis Green, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, tough pass there. You got to bring that ball down. You got to see where that far safety is here. You see Webb takes his eyes to the right, really telegraphs his pass, and you see the strong safety right in the middle field waiting on it. Got to get the ball down. I'll give Jordan Davis credit. He wasn't scared to go up to get the football. But you got to see those safeties if you're a quarterback.
The momentum that the Texas Tech defense handed to the offense.
Yes. You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you do. Second punt. The Texas Tech and a fair catch called for by Lockett. We're going to step aside. Just underway here in the second quarter. 7-0 Wildcats. Games pitting top 25 teams today. You knew somebody was going to get knocked off. I didn't expect this many teams to take a hit. Look at that. Oregon lost on Thursday, but Alabama loses today to Ole Miss. Oklahoma goes down at TCU. Mississippi State knocks off Texas A&M.
Has the state of Mississippi ever been happier in one single day?
And Notre Dame also beats Stanford. So a lot of great games today. A lot of top 25 teams losing. Man open, Curry Sexton, but it's over his outstretched hands. Jake Waters couldn't connect with him. They took a shot.
You're right, he was open, and there's no question about it. And Jake Waters, he's been consistent each game, but he misses a big play there. He's a 60% completion percentage quarterback, but to me, you got to make those plays when those opportunities come up. Opportunity missed there.
Which one of those games surprised you the most today?
I'll tell you what, Mississippi State, just the way they did it. I thought they were going to give themselves a great chance and opportunity in that game, but they really put it on Texas A&M.
Dak Prescott has to be in the Heisman conversation now with what he did against Texas A&M.
There's no question about it.
There's Jake Waters setting and throwing to a wide open man. Hauled in by Deontay Burton, who's from right here in Manhattan, Kansas. He's been a factor on special teams in recent years. Gets a first down as he picks up 11.
Yeah, you know, he gets that nice spacing out of his cut there. You know, he's got great skill set in practice. They just need to see it on the football field. Right there, a nice route by the young man to get himself started off fast.
Veteran coach Dana Dimmel, he calls the plays for Kansas State. And this tempo is so much different from what we see from Texas Tech. They huddle about 90% of the time. Here's Waters looking for a crease, and he finds one. First down and more. Jake Waters inside the 20 to the 10, and finally run out of bounds. He was so patient, waiting for daylight, and he finally found it and snuck on through for a run of 50 yards.
He was, and I think I said earlier, you won't find him running 50 or 60-yard runs, but he proved me wrong. Watch this. He just reads the block, splits through the seam. Again, you see he's got good speed up the sidelines. Huge play, a set running back play that they have for their QB in this situation. Now in the red zone, they're going to go Wildcat with their tailback.
Charles Jones, who leads the Big 12 with 8 rushing touchdowns and has been a star out of the Wildcat formation, will take the snap. Jones, he neutralized in the backfield. Here's Brandon Jackson hitting him for a loss of 1. This is what Jones has done inside the red zone this year.
Well, there's a reason why it leads the Big 12 in rushing touchdowns. Every time they get inside the 10, he gets the football. They let him run the Wildcat offense. The one thing we haven't seen, though, Clay, is him do a little dump pass. Let's see if we get that as they get a little closer to the goal line.
Waters comes back in to take the snap. Jones is to his left. Second down and goal to go for Kansas State, leading 7-0. Just under 12 minutes to go before half. Waters and Sexton slipped down here near the sideline. There's a penalty marker down. Austin Stewart made the hit after the catch. There is a flag down. And Kansas State doesn't take many penalties. Haven't had one tonight yet.
Personal foul. Hands in the face. Number 99, defense. Penalty being forced half the distance to the goal. First down.
And they still don't have a penalty. That's number 3, though, against Texas Tech.
That's a huge one there. You pushed them back on that last play. Now you get them back closer to the goal line. First down. Not the ideal situation for this Texas Tech defense.
Kansas State, the least penalized team in the Big 12. Texas Tech, the most penalties in the nation. They average 12 per game. First down, goal to go. Robinson in the backfield. They fake the handoff. Waters sprinting toward the corner. Touchdown. Jake Waters. He had the big run on this drive, and he finishes the drive as the Wildcats now with a 2-touchdown cushion.
It's starting to be a pattern now. Game after game. Waters likes to run the show not only as a passer, but as a runner. Completely fools the defender there at Texas Tech. And there's nobody home on defense there on the outside to make that tackle. Great block by the wide receiver. And Jake Waters does the rest.
Matthew McCrane on for the extra point. And it's 14-0. Well, Kansas State, like we said, they don't beat themselves. The Red Raiders so far tonight haven't been helping themselves as K-State helps itself to another touchdown.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Zaxby's, the official chicken of sports fans.
Look at downtown Manhattan, Kansas. Jake Waters has a passing touchdown tonight and a rushing touchdown as well on that drive. Waters 54 of the 69 yards he accounted for. And in case you missed it, video of the touchdown by Jake Waters now posted on the Sports Center app, available on your mobile device and tablet whenever you need it. Nobody uses a mobile device more than my partner, Anthony Beck. I think that thing is glued to your hand. You're good at it, though. I'll say that much. That's a short kick. And it's going to be decent field position for Texas Tech. Let's go to the studio and say hi to Brendan Fitzgerald.
Hey, guys, time for a conference update brought to you by Dr. Pepper. And we'll stick in the Big 12. Fort Worth, where TCU was up 4 points. Oklahoma needing a miracle to try to pull this one out. Trevor Knight launching to the end zone, but it's going to be out the back. So TCU pulls the upset. They get a 37-33 win at home. Guys, back to you.
The Sooners, the favorite to win the Big 12. That was the first real test for TCU, and they passed it with flying colors. Deep handoff to Washington. Take it right up the middle. It's a gain of 5 for DeAndre Washington. So now the league is in flux, and certainly Kansas State has to feel like, hey, we've got a shot to win this thing.
Of course, Kansas State's there. Baylor, they had a big win today against Texas. So, you know, people aren't talking about Baylor too much. They're just hanging around, doing their thing, winning games.
DeAndre Washington again. It's a first down carry of about 7 yards. Washington had an ACL tear in 2012. That forced him to redshirt. It's been a tough few years in the program for him, but he has a chance to have the best year of his career right now.
I really like him on tape. I truly believe he needs to get the ball more. He's a very good runner, and you can see the quickness to the line of scrimmage.
On first down, throwing. Webb had it tipped and picked off. The second interception thrown by Webb. And it's Travis Green. Jonathan Truman got his hand on it, sent it skyward, and Green came down with it.
And I know they're a passing team, and we just saw 2 very good runs by their running back. Now they go on first down, they go and pass it, and this has been the biggest thing. You see number 21 on your screen. He's just sitting in his zone, tips it up in the air right here. And the safety again just sitting back there. Travis Green, he had a big hit earlier in that same spot. Catches the ball here off the tip, and you never want that ball in the air like that as a quarterback. And again, run the football, in my opinion. It's working. Why get away from it?
2 turnovers tonight for Texas Tech. 3 penalties for Texas Tech. We still have a long way to go before half. Here's Charles Jones. Nice cutback. And he gets out to midfield. It's going to be a first down run for Charles Jones, the sophomore out of Louisiana.
And just when the defense had momentum for Texas Tech, they made some nice plays a couple series ago with some sacks. Now this running game from Kansas State is starting to affect Texas Tech's defense, and they're moving the ball now on big chunks and big clips with the running attack.
That was the 9th first down for the Wildcats tonight. This is Waters on the keeper. And he'll get about 4. Jake Waters last year in his first year as Kansas State's quarterback led the team to an 8-5 record. That win over Michigan in the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. You can really tell that he's got a grasp on this offense now. And he's a bona fide leader. A lot of times JC transfers never become the leader of the team, but Waters has.
He's exactly what this team needs, what this team is about. Bill Snyder loves his development. He thinks across the board everybody has to improve, but he's had a good season so far.
He'll throw. Lockett inside the 35, down at the 33-yard line. That's a gain of 14 for Tyler Lockett.
Really nice job by Jake Waters there. He's limping a little bit on that one. Just a deep in cut, just slides over, puts the ball into his favorite receiver, Lockett, and he knows what to do with it after the catch.
Lockett had 256 all-purpose against UTEP. That was his 4th catch tonight. He's got another one. Stays in bounds, and he's out at about the 13-yard line. Man, he is hard to stop. Let's go down on the sidelines to Kara.
Well, guys, I talked to Jake Waters yesterday, and he told me the open receiver is his favorite target, but what makes Tyler Lockett special? He's a student of the game. It's the in-game adjustments that he makes when he reads the defenses that really gives him that extra edge.
Oh, he's a student of the game, all right. Very smart. And Jake Waters is smart to throw to him as much as he possibly can. Jones in the backfield. And he slipped down. I don't think that he was hit hard enough to knock him down. I think he just slipped on the turf. No gain on that play.
It helps, too, when your dad's the all-time leading receiver, Kevin Lockett, for Kansas State. I'm sure he's passed on some good knowledge to his son, Tyler.
Also his uncle Aaron, who Tyler passed for third on the school's all-time receiving list last week. What a family that is. Now here they are inside the red zone again. They have been perfect with the exception of that Auburn game where they struggled inside the 20. There's a good run for Charles Jones. Get it to about the 8-yard line. Micah Awe on the tackle. So 3rd down and about 5 coming up. What do you think of these teams' tempos? I can't get over watching Kansas State huddle. Have we seen a team huddle this year, you and I doing games?
Didn't we mention the word old school a little bit ago?
Right.
You know, I love it. You know, to me, listen, you're not showing what you have initially. They're still going up to the line. They let this kid play quarterback. Let him make a read and call the right play.
Well, now Jake Waters senses some confusion down there, and he calls a timeout. He's going to go over and talk with Dana Dimmel. 3rd and 5 coming up. Under 7 to go before half. Kansas State near 90% inside the red zone this year, but Coach Snyder has said execution has been an issue at times.
Yeah, they've been well, but when I break down the tape, I haven't seen the connection between his favorite receiver, Lockett. They've missed a couple times on some pass plays. They also had one in the Auburn game. Let's see in the passing situation here if they find Lockett in the end zone.
There was some confusion before that timeout. Let's see if they got it squared away. 3rd down and 5. They can pick up a 1st down just inside the 3. Still trying to get lined up. They option it out. Jones in trouble. He's not even going to get to the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 4th down as J.J. Gaines, the strong safety, was like a heat seeker on that one. Found Jones right away and brought him down.
Yeah, I think the defense looked like they sniffed run on that one there. They tried to go to the well with that option. Worked well earlier when they got outside, but this time Texas Tech defense was ready for it.
There have been some issues in the Kansas State kicking game. Jack Cantelli had a bad game against Auburn. He's been demoted, so Matthew McCrane has been handling field goal PATs the last couple of games. He's 1 for 1 on the year, made a 25-yarder against UTEP. This from 27. And he'll likely keep the job for the foreseeable future. It's 17-0. Kansas State here in Manhattan. 10 points off turnovers as it's 17-0.
See Colin Klein there on the sidelines. One of the staff members helping out Jake Waters. Love to see those former QBs come back and help these young men.
Colin Klein was a gritty quarterback. You see that in Waters too. Another short kick. This one fair caught at the 26-yard line. As we go to the studio and get an update from Brendan.
All right, guys, thanks. Coming up at halftime, I'm joined by Jason Sehorn and Charles Arbuckle. We'll chat about what's going on down in Manhattan. Also, the Big 12 up for grabs after TCU's big upset today. And down in Mississippi, they're partying tonight. We'll let you know what happened in the SEC. Talk about that as well. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, big wins for the Dogs and the Rebs down in the Magnolia State. And you got to think that Oklahoma is going to be pretty surly when they meet Kansas State. Wildcats have a bye next week. Then they go to Oklahoma. Just got upset today. Play fake. Davis Webb to throw. Over the middle. Has a man caught at the 49-yard line by Reginald Davis. And that's what this offense needs to start doing. Getting yards in chunks. That's 23.
Really unbelievable. I mean, pressure's coming at him. Throws the ball over the middle. They get a big conversion.
Back to Webb. Man wide open. Jordan Davis to the 25-yard line. Jakeem Grant, Davis Webb, Jordan Davis. How about that play?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're pulling all the tricks out of the bag. They're down 17. Got to make something click here. Nice play call.
2 explosive plays in a row for Texas Tech. Now they go to the ground DeAndre Washington. Bounces off tackles, looking for room on the outside. Great pursuit by Dante Barnett, the strong safety, for a loss of 1.
I'm kind of shaking my head. I know it's football and he wants to play and block, but Davis Webb just laid a block with his left-hand side of his shoulder there. You got to watch it. Doesn't want to knock himself out of the game for doing something silly.
Those 2 plays the K-State defense gave up on succession. The 11th and 12th plays of 20 yards or more. They have been really good limiting explosive plays this year. Now the end around. Bradley Marquez. And again, K-State does a pretty good job with it. As Truman makes the tackle, it's a gain of 3.
Again, you see Washington bounces outside, and well, I'll tell you what, now that's the football coming out of him. But again, you got to play it safe. Just move out of the way. Let the running back do the work.
That hurt to watch it.
You see that harness? It's there on the left-hand shoulder.
Separated his shoulder last week against UTEP. The Red Raiders 1 of 4 on 3rd down tonight.
Hard to check plays with this noise. See if they can get this off on 3rd down.
Play clock running out. And a timeout granted by Texas Tech. Yes, they're going to give him the timeout. Cliff Kingsbury got the attention of the officials and was granted the timeout before the play clock expired. And we'll take a break as well. Red Raiders on the march. They're down by 17. Big 3rd down coming up for Texas Tech. Let's go to Kara.
Guys, they're looking for vocal leadership on this Texas Tech offense. And before this drive, I saw quarterback Davis Webb look at every unit and say, I'll meet you in the end zone. I'll meet you in the end zone. It'll take us about a minute 20. They're definitely working at that kind of a pace here.
You're definitely right. Now, let's see if they can convert this 3rd down. They got through the 20s fast. They got to see if they convert this.
Play fake. Webb to the end zone. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Caught by Jakeem Grant. And Davis Webb proves to be a prophet. Finally, the Red Raiders get on the board.
Really well done play design. And they built this off of a previous play that they ran on the offense on a 3rd down opportunity before.
That touchdown drive in less than 2 minutes, a minute 55 to be exact. As Ryan Buston comes on for the point after. This is exactly what Texas Tech needed, especially just ahead of halftime. And it's 17-7 with 4:11 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
They set this play up. Watch this in route, 5-yard in route, out route right there. He pumps it. The defensive cornerback loses the wide receiver, and Grant goes right up the side. Well done. Great play fake. That's a sign of a good offense. When you run plays and build other plays early in the game, and then you come back and set them up, feels good as a coordinator when you can get that done with your team.
You know, Davis Webb needed it for his confidence too, as he was 4 for 4 on that drive. After throwing 2 interceptions, 1 in the end zone, he needed a positive play.
I'll tell you, the kid's got confidence. He's tough as nails. Heck, he's throwing blocks out there with his bad shoulder. Again, he's showing you something today. How can you bounce back? And when you throw the ball 60, 50 times in a game, Clay, you're going to have some ups and downs. Really looks well in his confidence on how he plays the quarterback position.
These teams with one common opponent this year, UTEP. Texas Tech struggled to beat the Miners by 4 in El Paso. And K-State blew out UTEP last week here in Manhattan. And Kansas State, pretty heavy favorites coming into the night. But now Texas Tech with a little momentum, down by 10. Tyler Lockett will not come out of the end zone. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup heads to the contender round and to Kansas City, just down the road from where we're at. Brad Keselowski won at Chicago, Joey Logano at New Hampshire, and Jeff Gordon at the Monster Mile in Dover. But the points reset and we start fresh in the contender round. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series from Kansas tomorrow at 1 on ESPN and Watch ESPN, presented by Dodge. What a day tomorrow for fans, I should say, in the greater Kansas City area. NASCAR in the day, the Royals Angels in the ALDS Game 3 at night. What a series that has been. The Royals winning 2 extra inning games in Southern California. This part of the world is Royals crazy right now.
There's no question about it. And they're in their Wildcat set here to start this series.
Jones, good run. Wow, that's all effort for Charles Jones. And he got close to a first down at the 35-yard line. Gaines and Aguavin struggled to finally bring him down at the 35.
And they're really running the ball effectively. And when you have runs like this, Clay, this is how you take the will out of the defense. And you talk about a defense that struggled, their confidence is down. They tried to get things going early in this game. Right now, they've controlled the line of scrimmage up front for Kansas State.
Decided rushing advantage for K-State. Go to Jones again. Aguavin is there. Get one. Sam Aguavin, the vocal leader of that Texas Tech defense. Also the leading tackler, but you know there are too few leaders on this defense right now.
You make a great point. There's no question. He's really the only vocal leader they have. They need some other guys to step up, not necessarily with their mouths, but with their play.
Just over 3 minutes to go before halftime. This defense would love to get off the field. Get it back to the offense, which looked pretty impressive on that last scoring drive. DeMarcus Robinson. It's going to be third down and fairly long for K-State. Tackle Raff, number 90, in on the tackle. And we're going to get a timeout. And Texas Tech using a timeout. They have 1 remaining with 2:44 to go. All right, the Big 12 shaken up a little bit today.
Yeah.
Oklahoma got beat by TCU. Baylor with the win today over Texas. They're 2-0. Oklahoma State a win today, an easy win over Iowa State, also 2-0. Kansas State, if they can win here tonight, they'll be 2-0. And TCU, how impressive was that victory today in your mind?
It was, and nobody was really talking about TCU being that team. Now they propelled themselves up with that big win over Oklahoma. And listen, the middle of the pack too, West Virginia has played very well this season, you know, playing a tough game against Oklahoma and Alabama to start the season off.
Yeah, they're probably better than the record certainly indicates. Hammered Kansas today. 3rd down and 6. K-State 2 of 5 on 3rd down tonight. Waters looking to throw. Flushed, throws on the run, incomplete. Deontay Burton well covered by Justice Nelson, who is the best cover corner on that Texas Tech defense. And there'll be plenty of time on the clock here in the first half for Texas Tech to maybe put another scoring drive together.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 37 seconds is an eternity for Texas Tech's offense. But good job by the defense, forcing the 3rd down, stopping the run, and getting themselves off the field.
Second punt for Nick Walsh. Batson calls for the fair catch at the 18-yard line. Finally, the Raiders getting something going on that last drive.
Yeah, they wanted to go fast. They had some great play designs here. Of course, the big throw across the middle, deep. Then they had the flick double pass with Webb finding Jordan Davis coming across the middle, gets big yardage. And of course, the touchdown, heavy pump fake to the outside. They get themselves a score quickly, one they desperately needed.
A lot of people worried about Davis Webb and his condition with that non-throwing shoulder coming into the week. He's playing through the pain here tonight. Looking to throw on 1st down. Incomplete. And this team very thin at quarterback. Junior Michael Brewer transferred to Virginia Tech. sophomore Baker Mayfield, he transferred to Oklahoma. If Webb is not able to continue at some point in this game, Patrick Mahomes, the true freshman, would likely get the call. We saw Mahomes play a little bit last week. Second and 10. Jakeem Grant on the screen. He is run right out of bounds. There's Jonathan Truman again. Well positioned. And now it's third down.
He's not going to shock you with the stopwatch, but he's got some great game speed, and it's really instincts. Being able to read and process information and go make that tackle. Very well done by that young man.
He's got 5 tackles already. Quentin White in the backfield for the Red Raiders. Incomplete. Jordan Davis can't haul it in, and it's fourth down. Again, the number 18 team in the country in total defense. Kansas State, when they're asked to bow their neck, they're able to get it done.
And on that situation, Webb just got to step and make that throw. They had nice protection up front. Jordan Davis runs the in cut, turns around. He just throws the ball behind him. So a missed opportunity there for the advantage for the Kansas State defense.
Taylor Semank with the boot. High wobbly kick. And another fair catch called for.
Fair catch is made by
Tyler Lockett. Championship drive brought to us by Dr. Pepper. Mississippi State. And it wasn't even close. The win over Texas A&M. The score doesn't really indicate what a lopsided affair that was. And Ole Miss, with one of its biggest wins in recent memory, defeats number 3 Alabama. And TCU making a statement in the Big 12 with the upset of Oklahoma.
It's really been a spectacular day of college football. A lot of great games, great players rising into the spotlight. Dak Prescott obviously is pushing himself into the Heisman situation now. Really a fun day of football.
And Kenny Hill at Texas A&M, a lot of people had him in the Heisman conversation. After today, he might be out of that talk. It's going to be a pickup of 3 yards for Curry Sexton. Austin Stewart making the tackle. Second down and 7 for K-State, as got a minute and 40 seconds to go here before halftime. 10 points off turnovers here in the half for the Wildcats. Low snap. Waters throws, caught by Lockett. That's a first down as he gets to the 43-yard line of Texas Tech. Justice Nelson makes the tackle, but a gain of 13 for Lockett.
Great hands, well done, goes down low. It's a low throw by Waters, and he just plucks it off the ground. Great technician at the wide receiver position.
It's under further review. Ruling on the field was a catch.
They're going to see if that didn't hit turf first, but yeah, he helps out his quarterback. He helped out Colin Klein. He's helped out Jake Waters the last couple of years, and that's why guys like throwing to him.
And he has that versatility. It's not just as a route runner, it's as a special teamer. Getting the nose of the football. Might have hit the ground there. Again, is it indisputable? Might's a key word there that you got to decipher on that play.
Tyler Lockett, All-American, had one of the great return days in Kansas State history last week. 256 all-purpose yards, many of those yards coming on the return game. It's really hard to tell.
It really is. You know, it's how much is that ball tilted back when it's in his hands. I mean, you can probably say, you know, it looks like it hit the ground, but you got to be definitive. And we're going to zoom it in the best we can. See, his hands are around it. It looks like it may have bounced up. It looks like it may have bounced up. He didn't quite have a grasp on the football till it actually comes up a little bit. It might overturn this one.
Replay official from the Big 12, David Ames. Saw what you saw at home. And here comes Greg Burks with the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch. First down.
And that's the key word. It might have hit the ground. You really couldn't tell with that view. And again, looked like it might have bounced up, but again, too close. Either way, going down for that low ball, plucking it out of the ground was a great job by Tyler Lockett.
So a gain of 13 yards holds up. First down and 10 from the 43 of Texas Tech. Charles Jones, the sophomore running back, to the right of Jake Waters. The time here for Kansas State to add to their lead. Pressure coming. Got rid of it in time. Diving catch behind him. Curry Sexton adjusts to haul it in for a gain of 8.
It really was a nice catch. And that's 2 balls now that have been away from the wide receiver, and they've made spectacular catches for the completions.
Waters to throw again. Complete. Cody Cook with his first catch. First down for the Wildcats, the JC transfer. And he gets it inside the 20 to the 19, a gain of 16 yards for K-State.
Goes to the receiver that he normally doesn't throw to, processing information as a quarterback, finding the open man.
Wide open is Lockett. Dives to the pylon. There's a flag down.
Might get him with a push off here. We saw some nice separation earlier. There might be a reason why. Justice seems to think, Justice Nelson.
Pass interference, number 16 offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
It's hard to tell sometimes with Lockett. He's got great speed, great burst out of his breaks. Let's see if he gets his arm and body. Again there, you can't extend your hand like that. You see the push off. Sometimes if you get that forearm play, you see you use a little shimmy on the linebackers when I played tight end. You know, when I was catching them balls, Clay, remember those days?
Yeah, I do remember those days. Long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I saved your press clippings. I go back to them every once in a while. After the penalty, Waters in trouble. Got rid of it in time to avoid the sack. And he's slow to get up as Stewart and Jackson combined on the hit. That penalty, the first of the night against Kansas State, takes him out of the red zone. And now it'll be 2nd down and 25.
And again, they still have an opportunity here. I think they're wondering if he was out of the pocket or not when he got delivered that football. See it here. Again, it's the framework of the offensive line. Did he go out of that box?
He was outside the box and the ball went beyond the line of scrimmage.
You're going to have to get ready to line up here. The clock's going to start. 39 seconds. Still have a good opportunity here to get closer.
So ruled an incomplete pass. 2nd and 25 now. They need the 9-yard line for a first down. A lot of time to work with. They've got 1 timeout remaining. Here comes the rush. Waters is going to run. Has a blocker downfield. Spins away from a tackle and gets to the 15-yard line. They got to hurry. Clock running. That's a gain of 19 yards. And now Kansas State is going to use its final timeout. 24 seconds to go before halftime.
Great job. Watch the communication by the quarterback. He's going to let his running back know he's going to run. Watch him right here. He'll flick his arm and see it right there. Watch his block. Great chop block. Gets his defender out of the way. Waters does the damage in the running game. He's getting close to 100 yards rushing in this game. I believe he has 91 yards rushing. So again, he's been a factor right now in the running game.
155 passing, 91 on the ground. All right, so now Kansas State timeouts. They've got a 3rd and 6 coming up. And again, the field goal kicking has not been exceptional this year for Kansas State. They would love to punch it in here and really send a message right before the half.
Well, 2 players we talked earlier. If they decide to pass, Tyler Lockett's been a guy they have not really connected in the touchdown area. Let's also watch the tight end position. Number 85, Trujillo. See if he gets in the action here. Maybe a potential middle area of the defense here to try to get the ball in the end zone. Again, they have options. They have players. Let's see if Jake Waters can find the right one.
Zach Trujillo having the best season of his career. He had a touchdown last week against UTEP. All right, so out of the timeout. Waters out of the gun. Low snap, comes up, throws to the end zone, caught! Touchdown, Tyler Lockett. .15-yard touchdown strike right out of the timeout. Huge score here before the half.
And finally, Waters makes a connection. That wasn't pretty, folks. You're going to see this hard slant. Great job at the top of the route. Ball's behind him. But those hands we've talked about, Tyler Lockett, he's been making these quarterbacks look good for years. Pulls it in, and they finally connect and get themselves a touchdown.
That's the true freshman corner, Tevin Madison, who maybe if he had had his head up just a bit, might have seen that to pick it off. As it happens, it's a touchdown. Extra point is good, and it's 24-7 Kansas State. And he ties Jordy Nelson for third on the all-time touchdown catch list here at Kansas State. His dad, Kevin Lockett, leads the way with 26.
Jordy Nelson's not a bad receiver in the NFL, is he?
And the Packers are happy to have him. I guarantee you Kevin is hoping that his son breaks that record.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's pretty special. You know, you come here, you play, you have a fantastic career, then your son comes in, get to see him play, do the great things on the football field. He's a great kid, smart kid. It's been a spectacular career for Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, he did have the pushing off penalty, and it backed Kansas State up out of the red zone, but it doesn't hurt the Wildcats as get another touchdown here. Jack Cantelli to kick it off. They have not had very long kicks tonight. Another short one. This is Justin Stockton on the return, and he can't get to the 20. Cut down at about the 18-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown pass.
You see from the up top angle, he's going to basically hit the inside part of the shoulder. He's going to press him. Ball's going to be already in the air before he makes the break. And he throws it a little behind him. But Lockett, with that separation, is able to get that ball into his body. You're right, the DB, if he just turned his head, could have probably made a play on that ball. Again, good job of pulling it in.
Cliff Kingsbury doesn't want to see any more until the third quarter, as his team is down 24-7 at the half. And interceptions, penalties, rearing their ugly head for the Red Raiders again in the first 30 minutes. Kansas State will have the football to start the second half. 24-7 at the break. Let's go down to Kara with Coach Snyder.
Coach, how do the Wildcats sustain the momentum with that last score there for the second half?
How did they?
No, how will you?
Well, that's up to them. I mean, you have to play every snap. That's kind of the way it is.
Will you tell them anything to that end?
Pardon?
Will you tell them anything about how to do it?
Well, they know how. They know how. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can tell them. They know that they have to play every snap. That's just the way it is. It's the name of the game.
Thank you, Coach.
The always understated Bill Snyder and the Kansas State Wildcats with a comfortable lead at the half. Let's go to the studio for the college football halftime report. Brendan, Buck, and Jason.
All right, thanks, guys. So some work to do for the Red Raiders in the second half. The Wildcats with the 24-7 lead. They're in the Big 12. Well,
and Davis Webb on the other side, the quarterback for the Red Raiders. I don't think the shoulder has been a real factor for him tonight, but he has thrown the 2 interceptions. The one drive where they did score, though, he was the deciding factor on it. It's like he said, guys, follow me. I'll lead you to the end zone.
Well, he's played a tough game tonight. He doesn't lack confidence, that's for sure. Let's see if he can bring his team back in the second half and then get some points on the board.
Kansas State starts with the football here in the second half. We have not seen a big return tonight for Tyler Lockett. Maybe this will be one. Across the 20, just shy of the 25 is where the Wildcats will go to work. Let's go down to Kara.
Guys, I talked to Cliff Kingsbury, and to your point, Clay, asked him about Davis Webb's health. He said, Webb is fine. He just needs him to sit in there and help us make some plays. It's about protecting the football. Those 2 turnovers in that first half, Kingsbury pointed out as being huge to take away any momentum they had tried to build. He just told his guys to play hard.
And in those 2 interceptions, to add what Kara says, they got to really complete those passes. He missed a few receivers, follow through, and I wonder if that affecting of that pain in the left shoulder is affecting his follow-through in his passes.
So Jake Waters will start out the shotgun here, opening series of the second half for the number 23 team in the country. And what has been a big day in the Big 12. Waters rolling out on the run, fires a first down pass to Lockett. That's a good start. That's a gain of 12.
They've run that comeback about 4 or 5 times. He pushed off on the last one there. He didn't have to. He was working number 27, Tevin Madison, the true freshman. Anytime they get that matchup, for sure Jake Waters is going to throw that way. Clay, really a huge series for Texas Tech's defense here. Got to get off the field here some way, somehow, and give their offense a chance.
Again, a new defensive coordinator, Mike Smith. Promoted just a couple of weeks ago. Waters keeps it, finds room on the right side, first down and more into Texas Tech territory. He has run out at the 46-yard line. Good block downfield.
Yeah, does the word Gronkowski mean anything to anybody? That's right. Watch the fullback here, make an adjustment, swallow up the DB. That's Rob Gronkowski's brother there. Did a great job. It's a dying position, Clay, the fullback position, but he played it well there.
Glenn Gronkowski, the youngest of the 5 Gronkowski brothers. Rob, of course, the household name, the Pro Bowler for the Patriots. Gronkowski's a pretty good pass catcher, too. We haven't seen him do that tonight. We've seen the block. Certainly could handle that. First down and 10, and Waters takes a shot. Sam Aguavin comes in uncontested. And that's the 7th tackle for loss tonight for the Red Raiders.
And you made a great point. You said that he's one of the guys they're trying to get to. They tried to slip him out, the fullback, but he was waiting too long. Couldn't get him wide open. They couldn't get him the football. Waters gets the sack.
So now 2nd and 14 from the 50. Guavin, again, the guy that they look to get everybody lined up. He's a vocal leader for the Red Raiders. There's a pass that's caught at the 41 and then down at the 40-yard line is Cody Cook. Pickup of 10. Cook came to Kansas State as a quarterback. They've made him a wide receiver, and he's a pretty good one. So now 3rd down and about 5.
Manageable situation here. Obviously, we haven't seen the tight end get involved. Let's see what Waters does in this situation.
Sprinting out to the right. Just pitching and catching. Curry Sexton hauls it in. That's the 18th first down of the night for Kansas State. That's a gain of 10.
Exactly right. Sprint right option. That was the play. Roll out right. The entire line slides across, and they just slipped that little 5-yard out route by Sexton. Well played. Nice job on the conversion.
I like Sexton. He turned down an appointment to Harvard to play football at K-State. He's an Abilene native, bleeds purple. The Ivy League came calling him. He said, nah, I'm going to Manhattan.
Unreal.
On first down, Waters didn't see anything downfield, and he'll pick up a couple. Like you said, this is such an important defensive series for Texas Tech, but again, here's Kansas State now deep into Red Raiders territory.
It's been a nice drive so far for Kansas State. Come out of the gates, get this offense moving. They understand that Texas Tech's defense is trying to get momentum, but they're putting a stall on it right now.
Marcus Robinson in the backfield along with Gronkowski. Check the play. Play clock inside of 5. Ball's loose. And covering up is Demarcus Robinson. Haven't seen a lot of mistakes tonight for Kansas State. That was a near turnover.
They're very fortunate there that Robinson was able to come back and fall down on it. They had a similar play like this happen a few weeks ago. Ended up being a turnover. And just slips out of Jake Waters' hands. Johnny on the spot there. Demarcus Robinson with the recovery.
Just 5 turnovers all year for Kansas State. 3 of them came in the game against Auburn.
Middle of the field right now, guys, is wide open. Let's see if they try to attack it.
Pressure off the edge, stepping up. Waters almost runs into the teeth of that defense. Drops it off short to Sexton, and he's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to be about a yard short. But great improv there. They nearly picked up the first.
Looked like Johnny Manziel of old here. Scrambling around, twisting and turning. Dumps it down to Sexton. Keeps his eyes downfield. I think they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Kansas State 3 of 5 on the year going for it on 4th down. And now going to get a
Previous play is under further review.
Review from upstairs.
Check the spot here. See if Sexton was able to get closer or at least get past the first down marker. Looked like he was short initially. First down marker's about the 20-yard line. Looks like he goes out about the 19. I think they got it right the first spot there, but I want to double check it. Gives Kansas State a little time to talk about this play too.
They went for it earlier on 4th down and converted. Now, Bill Snyder, he said it before, he's going to turn 75 this week. Looks real good, and the same as ever. Great energy. He hasn't changed a thing. He has built a program around discipline and core values. He hasn't wavered from those values, and he's got a team that's in contention for a Big 12 title again this year, especially after
further
Oklahoma
review,
got
the
beat.
ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
Yeah, you're right, Clay. There's no question. I mean, and the one thing I see with Snyder and his tenure and his coaching staff is they coach their players up. He gets the most out of every single one of them, especially when you look at all the walk-ons that they have on this football team. I mean, these guys are starters. They're captains. I mean, he doesn't get those 5-star recruits all the time. He goes out there, and he mentioned about recruiting. He talked about going and seeing the senior year play of a lot of these players when there's a lot of that early enrollment or early decisions getting made. He likes to see those seniors play in their high school year.
Year 6 of his second stint at Kansas State. Going for it on 4th and 1. This is the 9th play of the drive. Waters on the option, keeps it himself, and it looks like he's short. Yep. And Texas Tech will get it back on downs.
Good job by Tech. Anytime you're in 4th and short, you run the option, you better turn up the field and put your shoulder down quick. I think he kind of strung it out a little too far there. Looked like there were some earlier holes that he could have stuck his foot in the ground and just got forward, but again, with that option play, you take a chance. You give the defense an opportunity to make a play on the football. They come up short.
Keenan Ward, nice play. He left last week's game with an arm injury, was a little nicked up this week. It helps Texas Tech get it back, down 24-7 with 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. I'll see what this offense can do.
I'd like to see a little DeAndre Washington for sure running the football. I think he was very effective in the first half. I know they like to pass, but I'll tell you, he's got the ability to break one, get through the line of scrimmage, and make a big play. Let's see what direction they go here.
White and Stockton in the backfield to start this series. Webb checking the play. They better hustle. Get it off just ahead of the play clock. Webb fires, man open. But there's a penalty marker down as as Jordan Davis dives ahead to the 44.
There's going to be a hold here, and that's unfortunate. Come out, get a big play, shoot yourself in the foot. It's been a recurring theme here for Texas Tech.
Holding, number 65 offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Most penalized team in the nation, and the first play from scrimmage of the second half results in a penalty.
Yeah, right guard. See Dalen Brown, excuse me. Just kind of buries him down. And I'll say one thing, they took him out of the game. So now there's repercussions right now by Coach Kingsbury, and I like that. Bring another player in so they get it right. They cannot have those penalties.
1st and 20. Incomplete. Streaking up the field was Quentin White on a wheel route. And it lands incomplete. There has been a lot of inconsistency at that right guard spot, Anthony, and they have actually kept that position open from week to week for competition, and that's a step back for Dalen Brown.
And we talked about it earlier. We talked about Bill Snyder and what his disciplinary issues and how he takes care of things. How will Cliff Kingsbury take care of his situations? And I like that mode right there. Take the players out until they get it right.
Webb being chased, and he'll take a hit. Remember, he's got a separated non-throwing shoulder. That left shoulder is still an issue for him, and he can't afford to take too many whacks here tonight. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 3rd down and long.
It's going to be a big play. 3rd and 10. You got an alternate guard in the game. Let's see if they can get some pressure up front for Kansas State in this long distance situation.
Dominique Brown, the new right guard. Webb complete to Jordan Davis, but then whipped down at the 26-yard line by Dante Barnett, well short of the first down marker, and Texas Tech will have to kick.
Dante Barnett. It's like a heat-seeking missile. He's their box strong safety. Got the quick, agile Jordan Davis there on the catch. Great job of coming downhill and making that tackle by Barnett.
Tyler Lockett had a 58-yard punt return touchdown last week. 143 yards in returns in the punt game. And they kick it away from him. Makes the fair catch at the 34. That's where Kansas State goes to work when we come back. 8:14 to go in the 3rd.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Burger King. Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5 with the Burger King 2 for $5 menu.
Huge upset in the Big 12, guys. And Baylor, who beat Texas today, will be at TCU next week. A huge game in the Big 12.
It really is. There's no question about it. It's setting up for this conference. You look at the SEC West, you look at the Big 12. A lot of these games are getting into their conference play. And who's going to step up? That'll be the biggest question.
There's Lockett on the screen, gets to the 40. 2nd down. And about 4 coming up. And with a win tonight, Kansas State will go to 2-0 in the Big 12. They'll have a bye next week before their big game in Norman. A game that will certainly have college football playoff implications. I wouldn't count anybody in the Big 12 out of it, even with a loss.
There's no question. Absolutely. You know, the way that things are going, teams are losing each week. A lot of teams can put themselves in a position to be in that top 4.
2nd and 4. That should have been caught. Curry Sexton had to climb the ladder a bit, but probably should have had it. Now a flag comes in late along the sideline.
Not sure what they have here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 3, defense. 15-yard penalty. It is first down.
J.J. Gaines, the junior strong safety, and that's penalty number 5 against the Raiders. There it is.
You know, I mean, he wasn't doing it. He was just I think, well, look, you can't do that, I guess, right? He took him out of the game. And that's what they're going to start doing now.
I guess.
If you make those mistakes, look, I mean, look, you're going to come out of the football game.
Right.
You know, you can't throw footballs.
Again, there's a 40-year difference between Bill Snyder and Cliff Kingsbury. Tyler Lockett. He'll scoot up close to the first down. Nice run. Gets to the 35. But Cliff Kingsbury is still trying to figure out how it's going to work for his program. He's trying to find the right balance when it comes to discipline. Certainly, Bill Snyder has already found that.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, you talk about the tenure, what he's been through. I'm sure Bill Snyder had to go through those growing pains as an early coach. I mean, you know, Cliff's trying to find his way. I mean, he's a very good coach, young, up and coming. He's got a great offensive mind. He's got to get these young players to be more mature.
Right now, they're the most penalized team in the country. Charles Jones picks up the first down. And the Wildcats will move the chains. Leading 24-7 with under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Kansas State nearly upset number 5 Auburn in the biggest non-conference home game in decades a couple weeks back, but they had 3 uncharacteristic turnovers. Still came away from that game feeling like they could play with anybody in the country.
Yeah, they did. They played well. And I'll tell you, Auburn missed out on some plays. They probably could have scored some more points on their end to give on their credit. But again, I thought that was a tough fought game for this team, and gets them battle tested, gets them battle ready for their Big 12 conference play.
Waters head for a yard. There's Pete Robertson on the tackle. Bill Snyder had this team in the national title hunt just a couple of years ago. Last year they finished 8-5. A win tonight gets him to 4. And 2-0 in the Big 12. Second down and 9. Jake Waters. Over 200 passing, over 100 rushing tonight. Looking to throw here. Pressure coming. Incomplete. Crowd wants a flag. They got it. Deontay Burton interfered with by Justice Nelson. That's been a battle in the secondary quite a bit here tonight, and Nelson is flagged.
Pass interference, number 31, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
He's going to have his arm around his hip here. Let's see. Deontay Burton running the out route. And you see just the tug on the hips there. Prior to that, pull down. Just a pull on the hips right there on the inside left, outside left arm. Hard to see it on that angle, but definitely had his hands on Burton prior.
Secondary is so young. Nelson just a sophomore. Gaines is the elder statement of that entire back end, and he's a junior. They run it. Charles Jones can't step out of a tackle, pulled down by Robertson. That's going to be no gain, second down.
Just kind of slowly grinding away here in the second half. Not doing anything special on offense. They're just kind of moving the chains, really wearing down the Texas Tech defense and really taking the offensive game of Texas Tech out of this, being the fact that they can't get on the field.
Almost 27 minutes time of possession for K-State. Not quite 13 minutes for Texas Tech.
That's huge.
Waters. That's a low throw. Did Lockett scoop it up? That time he did again. So that's twice that he's bailed out his quarterback on a low throw.
I tell you, it must be tough for these guys when they actually put it right on their hands in the chest area to catch a clean ball. You see again, he's got to pluck one out. It's a little push off there. He's got to watch that, but that's definitely clean. Gets his hands underneath that. Right. Yes, nice pull. Gets his fingertips underneath.
So now third down and 5. Waters. Touchdown. Boy, they made that look easy. Tyler Lockett. Second touchdown tonight. He beat Nigel Bethel. There he is, #1. And made it look easy in doing so. Third touchdown for Waters tonight.
Clay, it's two guys that know each other well, on the same page, back shoulder throw. Tyler's on the same page as his quarterback. They probably run that 10, 15 times a week in practice, and they just got that sense for each other. And that's a connection that we haven't seen in the red zone now twice today. I think they're getting back on target, Clay.
Tyler Lockett came into the night with just 1 touchdown catch on the year. He's got 2 here tonight. And Kansas State has a comfortable lead, 31-7 late in the third. Welcome back to College Football Primetime, presented by 5 Hour Energy. Alongside Anthony Beck, former West Virginia and NFL tight end. I'm Clay Mathick, Kara Capuano down on the field. It's become a bit lopsided, 31-7. Number 23, Kansas State, leading Texas Tech. Bill Snyder getting a very good effort from his star players, especially Tyler Lockett and the quarterback Jake Waters.
And this defense for Kansas State is living up to their ranking, only giving up 183 total yards right now against a Texas Tech offense that averages over 500.
Another short kick. This one fielded at the 15. Stockton on the return. And there's a penalty marker on the field. Stockton gets to the 40. Might be a hold.
During the return, holding number 3 return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
So a return of 23 yards, which was going to give the Red Raiders pretty good position. And bring it back. And Tyler Lockett, 11 catches tonight for 140 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been able to find the seams. He gets the separation he needs from the defensive back. He catches the ball with his hands, Clay, which is huge. Look at that great move there to get open. And he's been catching bad balls. Nothing to take away from Waters' performance, but he's been all over the place trying to get that football. Great job locating it and pulling it in.
7 penalties now against the Red Raiders. That pass is low, but caught by Jordan Davis for a first down. And look out, Dad. Here I come. They're a step closer. Jordy Nelson now in the dust. That's 21 career touchdowns at Kansas State now for Tyler Lockett. Davis Webb has time to throw. Complete to Dylan Cantrell right over the middle. And he gets to the 49 of Kansas State. A couple of big plays there for the Red Raiders back-to-back.
And they've had good protection really through this second half. Great throw there across the middle. He gets it down. They're moving the ball well. Just go back to that last series, that penalty that killed the big play. Just shooting themselves in the foot. See if they can finish.
That's a gain of 20. Webb again has time. He'll flare it out to Stockton, but he can't haul it in. Drop passes were a real issue for the Red Raiders last week. They had 9. 3 turnovers, 16 penalties, spoiled the chances of upsetting number 24 Oklahoma State a week ago. And again, the penalties, the turnovers, the drop balls have been an issue again tonight.
It's a learning process. Young players will go through this. Cliff Kingsbury understands that. He's going to keep working with them, trying to get it better.
On second down, Webb lofts it deep downfield, has a man, and it was dropped. Reginald Davis puts it on the turf. There was good coverage in the secondary, but Davis was in position to haul it in.
Yeah, and Reginald Davis made a nice adjustment to go get the football. I'm not sure if it was tipped or not. We'll see it here. Again, it looks like the defensive back, Barnett, strong safety, might have pulled his arm. Couldn't get one arm on it. Opportunity missed, though, for Texas Tech. 3rd and long.
2 of 7 tonight on 3rd down. They really need this one. Here comes the pressure. Webb gets rid of it, and that's going to be a first down catch at the 35 for Jakeem Grant. It's a gain of 15 and a first down for the Red Raiders. That's the guy they go to in must-have situations.
Yeah, he's their most explosive receiver. They just can't get him the ball enough, really, in this football game to give him those chances to display it.
They throw again. Great catch. Oh, no, he dropped it. Jordan Davis had it, and then when he came down to the ground, lost it.
Again, he talked about those drop balls. Wasn't an easy catch by any stretch of the imagination, but Jordan Davis got to pull this one in. You see Webb there really selling it hard left, understands where his receiver's going to be. Jordan had to go up high, turn his body to pull that in. Tough pull in for a catch there, but he couldn't hold on.
That's 3 drops on this series, 6 tonight. Webb pumps, throws. That's in and out of the hands of Jakeem Grant.
And again, I'm not going to put everything on the receivers. If you're a quarterback, you got to give them a catchable ball sometimes. You got that strong safety heat-seeking missile, number 22, coming down on the receiver, and you're going to put it in the middle of the field. You better put it on the body and protect your receivers. You can't just throw the ball and put it anywhere. Good quarterbacks find the good spots to protect their players in the passing routes.
3rd down and 10 for the Red Raiders. Davis Webb gets away, throws toward the end zone, has a man wide open. Caught, touchdown. Wow. DJ Polite Bray in the back of the end zone. Barely stayed in, but it's a 34-yard hookup. A must-have on that drive.
Tell you what, Davis Webb, he's got pressure coming behind him. He keeps his eyes downfield. Bray here. Great concentration. Did he hold on to the ball? He might replay this one. See if he holds on to it. That's going to be tough, Clay. I don't know. I don't know if he controls the football going down. Of course, in fast speed to a referee, that looks like a catch. But, of course, we have those eyes in the sky.
Tonight, those eyes belong to David Ames. We've had quite a few reviews tonight. He's going to get another one, I'm sure.
Again, we saw a similar play with Lockett. As the ball was low and they couldn't quite see if the ball hit the ground.
Ruling on the field was touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
Check this out a few more times as they go and check it out, but looks like the ball might have been dislodged. Of course, you have to control it all the way as a receiver, especially when you hit the ground, especially when you're in the end zone. Great concentration. Body's kind of moving around, trying to stay in bounds. Tough to see there. It looks like he controls it there, but this view here, let's see. He's got it in one arm.
I'll tell you what, if this is overturned, this is going to be heartbreaking for Texas Tech because it'll be 4th down.
Well, I'll say this. The ball is touching the ground in that last view when he comes down. So will they count that and say it's not controlled? Right there, it's hitting and touching the ground, hit between him and the out of bounds. And it's clear there. And of course, you must control it, Clay, like we said, all the way through the process. I'm going to say they might overturn this, Clay.
If they do, it'll be 4th down and 10 from the 34-yard line. On a night where not a lot has gone Texas Tech's way, they certainly need this to stand.
Yeah, and it was a great effort by Polite Bray. There's no question about it. Had to readjust to the ball. Davis Webb, like we said, had that pressure behind him, floats it up there. Kind of hoping for something good for this Texas Tech offense, just to get something going. Shot themselves in the foot a few series with some big plays, getting called back. Just trying to get on track. I think that's the biggest thing.
And if it is 4th down, it would be a 51-yard field goal Texas Tech would likely be looking at. And Ryan Buston is their field goal guy. His long is just 28 this season, however.
And when they take this much time They're going through the process here, trying to figure out where the ball's going, where they're going to place it.
They're already moving the chains back, Anthony.
Somebody got a little inside information.
Here we go.
After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. Incomplete pass. Fourth down.
It's been that kind of night for Cliff Kingsbury's bunch.
It has. And that's unfortunate. I think the deciding factor here, guys, is the ball is actually touching the ground there. Now, you could say you couldn't tell because his front arm, but I think this view here, right there, you see the ball is actually touching the ground. It's a good job with the replay, getting it right.
This is how unsure Cliff Kingsbury is about his field goal kicking unit right now. They're going to go for it on 4th and 10 from the 34-yard line. Look like movement on the right side. No flags. Intercepted. Travis Green picks it off. Third interception tonight for the Kansas State defense.
Travis Green, my friend, is having a ball game tonight. Got his first start last week, taking advantage of the situation. You see here, he's in position to make a turnover, makes a play on the ball. He's in position. That's the biggest thing. Turnover, 31-7, Kansas State.
Now this is the interception right before the break. Davis Webb now has been intercepted 9 times on the season, 3 tonight.
And he had his receiver open there. You have to set your feet. There was pressure coming by Ryan Mueller. Good job by Kansas State's defense.
Charles Jones on first down runs ahead for 3 or 4. And so now we'll probably see a heavy dose of ball control here for the Kansas State offense. They have controlled time of possession right from the opening kick.
Yeah, they're not interested in brownie points or quality points here, trying to run the score up. If it happens because of they're running their offense, it happens. But they're going to let the game come to them. They're going to run the football, chug some of this time off the clock, keep this Texas Tech offense off the field.
Jake Waters. Finds Curry Sexton close to the first down. I like Curry Sexton, the senior out of Abilene. We've got a good receiving core. Tyler Lockett gets much of the attention, and he should. But Sexton's been good tonight. Cody Cook, a junior college transfer, has been impressive.
Sexton's really a disciplined route runner. You know, he's always in the right spot. Tough throw for Waters there, and he still hits him.
Sexton over 100 yards receiving tonight and a touchdown. Deep handoff here to Jones, and he breaks free. Ball comes out, and it looks like, well, Texas Tech says they've got it. And they do. A rare Kansas State turnover as Keenan Ward, the free safety, knocked it loose, and Pete Robertson, number 10, on the recovery. So the Red Raiders have it.
Well, when you're a running back and you're going through those holes and you start pulling defenders with you, you have to make sure you hold on to that ball. Now, the question is, was his backside or tush down before the ball came out? They might have to watch this one on a replay. But again, great job. Robertson's had a very nice game defensively. 2 sacks early. The strip. Looks like they're.
I think everybody's waiting for an official review, but so far they haven't indicated that they're going to have one. Fans want it.
Yeah, it was close.
Ruling on the field was fumble. Previous play is under further review.
Better late than ever.
So the replay booth's getting some work today. They're going to earn their paychecks. You know what? I'll say what. I think this might be a fumble. I think the ball is actually coming out prior. It's going to be tough. I'll tell you. It's almost simultaneous. If that's the case, Clay, they might not overturn it.
I think it's a fumble, but
see there now, looks like it doesn't dislodge. Watch it closely. Elbows down.
The field stands. First down, Texas.
well, that is the first turnover for Kansas State in this series since 2009. Bill Snyder's team always seems to win the turnover battle. That's been the case so far tonight. That's the first for the Wildcats here this evening.
And great job by our video guys, Clay, getting all these shots. They're getting a lot of work tonight, too.
Yeah. They always do a good job. Well, comebacker to Jakeem Grant. Kansas State was ready for it. Will Geary, Dylan Schellenberg right there. And it's incomplete. There it is, 13 turnovers for Texas Tech. And the first for Kansas State since 2009.
Well, that's a bit lopsided if you look at that. It's not a very good stat. Hard to beat teams if you give them the football.
The last win for Texas Tech here came exactly 6 years ago. This is a tough place to win. Jakeem Grant will get the first down, and he'll get out at the 44-yard line. A gain of 13 for Jakeem Grant.
Again, between the 20s, they've moved the football tonight. They just can't plug it in, whether it be a penalty, a bad throw, an interception. Can't finish the deal right now.
Davis Webb being chased, and he throws it behind his receiver, incomplete. You know, again, I don't think that the shoulder has been an issue to the extent where Webb is missing plays that he should make, but there has to be some pain involved.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, when your shoulder separates, I'm sure there might be some ligament damage at some point when the shoulder pops out. Kid's a tough player. I'll give him credit. He's played this whole game. He's taken shots. Definitely has to feel it for sure.
Play fake, throws, caught. That is a nice catch for Ian Sadler, his first reception tonight. It's good for a first down. But it also talks about how thin they are at quarterback, that Webb is not on the sideline tonight. Patrick Mahomes, the true freshman who came in for Webb last week when he was hurt against Oklahoma State, was the option to start if Webb couldn't go, but they would rather have Webb than anybody else, even if he's not 100%. Spinning out of a tackle, Bradley Marquez, and he's got the first down. That's a gain of 11. Marquez, a senior from Odessa, stopping the clock with 17 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
I haven't been able to see him catch the ball and do much with it today, but right there you see how he runs with power, catches the ball, and he wants to apply a hit and get those extra yards. Very strong, compact wide receiver.
And they're not going to get a play off. 31-7. Kansas State's going to have the lead in convincing fashion going to the fourth quarter. Number 23 has been in charge from the opening kickoff. We go to the fourth when we come back to Manhattan. Crisp night here in Manhattan, Kansas. First college football Saturday of October. 31-13, 14:50 to go. Number 23 in charge. Kramer Fife to kick off. Tyler Lockett is back deep. Popped up. Fielded at the 30-yard line by one of the up men. And K-State will go to work at the 35. What if I told you their jerseys said Boston College, but they were playing for someone else? In the late 70s, a small group of BC players got mixed up with the real Goodfellas and started shaving points. The fix was in. ESPN Films 30 for 30 presents Playing for the Mob, brought to you by Infinity. Tuesday at 9 on ESPN and watch ESPN. That'd be interesting. Love those 30 for 30s. And K-State has gone over 30 points here tonight. There's still a lot of game left. Jake Waters has been impressive. 263 through the air, 105 rushing. And Charles Jones will take this snap out of the Wildcat. Runs it straight ahead, finds a little room. Wills his way for another first down across the 45 to the 46. A gain of 12 for Charles Jones.
There's been a few runs like that, carrying defenders. Dropped the ball last series on the fumble, but they trust him out there. He's been making plays in the running game for him. It's a nice addition, nice young player that they really like, that's put some nice work on tape.
They were looking for someone to replace three-year starter John Hubert, and Jones has risen to the occasion. He'll take another snap here. Come to this sideline. And he'll step out at the 48-yard line of Texas Tech. You kept saying that we might see Charles Jones throw a pass. We're thinking more inside the red zone, but
that's not going to happen.
Not at
between the 20s. That's for sure.
Jones now 13 carries for 65 yards. Now here's Waters again. Robinson in the backfield. It will be DeMarcus Robinson. With stiff arm, stays on his feet. Great balance to get ahead close to the first down.
He gets it too. That's a great job. Senior DeMarcus Robinson got his first start this year. Waiting his turn. Good compliment. Great job bouncing it off. He's a big guy in the lower half of his body. Tough to wrap him up. Burst through. Nice run.
Yeah, he looks bigger than he's listed in the program. 5'7", 209. He was the only experienced running back on the roster when the season started. Jones has become the feature back, but Robinson certainly a factor. Waters throws a little pop pass, and that is nearly intercepted. It was intended for Gronkowski. Keenan Ward almost came up with the pick.
Yeah, they try to run this play early, and they'll run this every week. They've shown this on tape, and it's worked well. And it's good to see the Texas Tech players in position for that. Keenan Ward obviously watching tape, seeing that could happen, and they've shown it once or twice a game, either hitting the tight end, the fullback out of the backfield. Well played.
So now second down and 10. Waters cranks it downfield, has a man wide open again. Caught by Curry Sexton inside the 10-yard line. Sexton is having a great night. 8 catches now. He's over 100 yards.
It's man to man. He runs a wheel route, and nobody's home. Lockett takes his defender out of the picture. Good concentration by Sexton to pull it in. He's quietly having a monster game today.
8 catches, 125 for Sexton. That 39-yarder sets up first down and goal from the 5. Here's DeMarcus Robinson, and he'll get a couple. First and second and goal, excuse me, from the 3. Look at the receiving yards here tonight for Lockett and Sexton.
And they've had to make some tough catches. Jake Waters obviously delivering the football away from their body, making plays for their quarterback. Jake Waters hasn't made the mistake today. That's great to see. I know Coach Snyder is going to appreciate that. No interceptions. He's over 300 yards because of those 2 men going to work for him.
17th straight sellout here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. It's thinned out a little bit as this game has been in control since the first half. Deep handoff. Robinson Trying to find his way to the end zone. Not going to make it. Third down coming up. What a job, though, Bill Snyder has done now in his second stint here in Manhattan. 23 total years running this program. Is there a more disciplined program in the entire country?
I'll tell you, he's on the top of the list. There's no question about it. You know, you talk about a man that's come into this place and built it from the ground up. Took a brief sabbatical, retired, comes back, gets the program back on top again. And it's been consistency, Clay. He's always in the mix every year.
The values that he talks about, his players buy in, and they buy in quickly as they call a timeout here with 11:16 to go.
Kansas State, they're first to the half.
We'll talk more about Bill Snyder, this Kansas State program, when we come back. They're on the doorstep, leading big. Bill Snyder made a name for himself as Hayden Fry's offensive coordinator at Iowa. Took over the worst program in the country in 1989 here in Manhattan, Kansas, and made it something special. And they're in contention for a Big 12 title again this year.
And we got a plethora of information from him at the coaches meeting. He just gave us all the secrets, didn't he, Clay? I think he's been through a few of those in his career.
Yeah, he is. He's old school, as most people would say. He says, no, it's just right.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. Third down and goal out of the timeout. Waters to the end zone. What a catch. Oh, my. Curry Sexton hauls it in. What a night for him. There's a Sports Center top 10.
Chalk that one up, folks. That will be a highlight that the country will see. Inside receiver, a little shake. Look at this grab. Doesn't even put his other hand on it. He just says, you know what? I'm going to stick these paws out and suck it in. I'll tell you what, as a receiver, when you're having one of those games, you just feel confident. You can pull anything in. I'll tell you, it's one of those games for him and Lockett. These guys cannot drop a ball. Look at this effort.
Second touchdown catch tonight for Sexton.
It's exciting stuff, man. I love it. These kids go up there, prepare, make plays like that. That's what it's all about.
And it's 38-13. Austin Stewart, the defensive back, had no clue what happened to him. He thought he had that play perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's there, but we got to roll one more time for the people. Check this one out. Sexton with the one-handed grab. Beautiful catch. The young man is excited. Tacking on another touchdown, 38-13.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots.
Clay Matvick, Anthony Beck, Kara Capuano back here in Manhattan, Kansas, as Kansas State celebrates another touchdown. Probably the prettiest play we've seen tonight. Curry Sexton with his second touchdown grab of the night. The time of possession very lopsided this evening. 32-48 for Kansas State. Just over 16 minutes for Texas Tech. And of the 10 series for the Wildcats, they have scored on 6 of them. And that return is going to be stopped shy of the 20-yard line. Jakeem Grant brought down. Celebrating its 10th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate making contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed more than $3.4 million in scholarship money. You know, as impressive as the offense has been tonight for Kansas State, the defense has really shown me something here too.
They're living up to their name. I mean, you're holding this team on offense, Texas Tech, under 300 yards right now when they average over 500. So, listen, they've done it quietly. You know, they go out there, they've understood their jobs, they've read the offense, the coverages, They've made the plays. They've created the turnovers. That's what you're looking for out of a good, solid defense.
A rushing defense already impressive coming into the night, ranking 13th in the country. They have kept Texas Tech to 43 on the ground tonight. There's another incompletion, as Dylan Cantrell was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Let's take a look at the offensive comparison tonight.
You know, and this offense, you see right here the rushing, and I know they don't run the ball a lot at Texas Tech, Clay, but you know, it unravels on you a little bit if you go 3 and out or you get a quick series, and now you play a team like Kansas State who's trying to get 10, 12 play drives on you, and they score and you can't stop them. It really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and again, the offense, just have a little more balance could help.
On 3rd and 6, deep pass, intercepted. Another interception of Davis Webb. That's number 4 as Morgan Burns gets his 2nd pick tonight.
Again, it was perfectly covered. You know, really wasn't open. I know he's trying to throw the ball down the sideline and make a play, but you better put it in a position where just your guy can make the play. And again, you have the cornerback ahead of the receiver on that route. Well played by Burns. Made an outstanding interception earlier in the red zone. And again, he's off coverage. He shows press. Nowhere for the receiver to really go there. Burns puts him in a tough spot. Sees the football, makes the interception.
Burns didn't even play last week because of a leg injury. First game back off that injury, has a couple of interceptions, 1 in the end zone. So now we'll probably see more of a healthy dose of that K-State running game. Marcus Robinson get 5. And getting back to that Kansas State defense in the Auburn game, if you want to really talk about how good this run defense has been, they held Gus Malzahn's Tigers to 128 rushing, and that's a team that averages 2 times that amount on the ground.
Over 300, well over 300 yards rushing. UTEP is a team America doesn't really know about, but they rush over 300 yards. Held them
Great
to,
running team.
I believe they held them to 53 yards.
Yeah, they've been tested, and they have looked sharp here in the first month and change of the season. As Robinson runs again, he'll get 3. 3rd and short coming up.
Check that out. It was close, 59 yards against UTEP. So again, they're showing their strength in the running game, and it's gonna pay dividends. I mean, I know they're in a passing conference, but again, you know, Coach Snyder says you got to stop the run, and when you make teams one-sided and they try to mix it up and they can't do it, that definitely puts the advantage to Kansas State's side.
What a night for this young man, Jake Waters, senior out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. Robinson, and they got the 1st down. Kansas State, they're going to be on bye next week, and then they've got that trip to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. Everybody in the state right now is Kansas City Royals baseball fever, but there are going to be a lot of people in the coming weeks talking about the Kansas State Wildcats.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this is a team now that's very disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They create turnovers on defense. Their offense, I tell you, Waters has done a nice job. He's protected the football. He hasn't given it away. He's a very good dual threat quarterback. Doesn't have great speed, but he finds a knack to get through those holes and seams and make plays in the running game.
Looking for operating room on the outside. Robinson, but he is hauled down for a loss in the play as we go down to Kara.
Well, guys, I talked to Jake Waters yesterday, and when I asked him for a word to describe this year's edition of Kansas State, he said hungry. The Wildcats feel like they let some games slip last year. They want to win the close ones this year. To your point earlier, guys, that Auburn loss did validate to this team that they can play with anyone. But they know to be a top 5 team, they just can't make any mistakes. They've got to execute cleanly.
Yeah, they weren't clean against Auburn. If they had been, we might be talking about a team that's ranked in the top 10 here tonight.
Yeah, we saw some opportunities when we watched film yesterday that they left points on the board for sure.
Second and 11, that pass incomplete. And there's a flag. Lockett interfered with by Ward.
Yeah, he tugged his jersey there, coming back out of that comeback route, which we've seen 5 or 6 times that Lockett has run.
Pass interference, number 1, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Actually, Nigel Bethel flagged for the penalty. Bethel suspended the first 3 games of the season. And that is penalty number 8 on the night against Cliff Kingsbury's team. Not as many as last week when they had 16, but still, that's too many.
And again, it's going to hurt them moving forward. They got to find ways to cut them down. A lot of those are sometimes technique, Clay, and that's just coaching these kids up, getting them better, playing better technique, and being in the right spot so they don't have to grab or hold or make those mistakes.
Number 20, Marcus Robinson.
Guavin brings down Robinson. That's a pickup of 2. 7.5 to go. We haven't asked you about your Heisman picks or your college football playoff this week. You know, you were probably as shocked as I was to see Oregon go down to Arizona.
I was. I'll tell you, you know, it was, you look at them and I felt like they were the best team, and it was just a matter of time when you look at their line. I was hoping they could hold the fort down, and they came up short, and Marcus Mariota might have paid or was cost the most out of that game because he's going to not possibly be in the Heisman opportunity now with that loss, and moving forward doesn't look good for him.
Robinson, nice run for a first down inside the 15. Marcus Mariota was certainly in the Heisman conversation coming into the week. Kenny Hill also, he takes a hit this week with the loss to Mississippi State.
You know what? Those 2 quarterbacks are going to take a step down, and you're going to see now Dak Prescott come into the mix, and you're also going to see Everett Golson come into the mix. Another guy, big win against Stanford today. Notre Dame quietly waiting for that Florida State matchup. That'll be one heck of a game if they can stay clean on both sides of the win-loss column.
This is Robinson hit behind the line of scrimmage. Now, I still think Marcus Mariota, because he didn't play terrible against Arizona. The team got beat, but he wasn't awful. I still think he can be in the picture at the end of the season.
And you know how that perception is, Clay. Sometimes you get an L and you just figure, okay, well, we'll move on to the next guy. And a lot of people don't get to catch those Pac-12 games. And I think, you know, when they look at it and voters see it, there might be some other players that are up there on better teams that haven't lost a game that could push him out of the mix.
Going to get your picks for the college football playoff here too, especially after all of the upsets today. Hey, there's Gronkowski with a big run. Always good to see Glenn Gronkowski get a touch. That's a gain of 7 for Gronk.
You got to throw a dog a bone sometime, man. This guy sticks his shoulder pads down there. He's blocking guys and protecting for the quarterback, the tailback. Put one in his belly once in a while and let him run the football.
Yeah, those fullbacks so often they're just glorified guards. And he gets a touch here to make it 3rd down and 5 just inside the 10-yard line. 7 of 13 tonight on 3rd down. Are they going to convert here? It's going to be close for Tyler Lockett. It's going to depend on the spot. They got it 1st down and goal to go for Kansas State. Still feeding Lockett here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're trying to move the chains. Again, it's an effective pass play, short pass play, make them catch the ball and go make a play, make people miss. These 2 young receivers done a good job. Sexton, Lockett, really been the leaders, the catalysts on this offense today, and have shined because of it.
Those 2 guys, 273 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. Lockett and Sexton. 10th play of the drive. Robinson. Not much there. Texas Tech, they had to do some soul searching. They got some winnable games coming up. Certainly Kansas, a winnable game. They've got West Virginia next week in Lubbock. Your alma mater.
It is, yeah. I'll tell you, I've been surprised the way they've played. Clint Trickett's done a nice job at the quarterback position.
Gronkowski again.
He could just sniff that end zone. He was trying hard. I love it.
You could see the will in the way he was churning those legs. Gets a couple.
Fortunately, them fullbacks, when they run high like that, it's not a good plan to try to get through the end zone. But I'll tell you what, he's played a good game today. I'll tell you, he's done a good job. You know, really a position that is kind of lost in college, really in the college and the pro game. And it's good to see a hard-nosed guy like him go in there and take that position on and play it well.
You know, so much of what he does you don't see in the highlights.
No question.
3rd down and goal to go.
A little.
And Kansas State wants a timeout. And they've got 1 remaining.
Timeout. Kansas State.
On a cool, crisp night here in October in Manhattan, Kansas, all Wildcats. Back in a moment.
Two teams would meet in the championship.
And again, very impressed with Mississippi State. And you can't say they haven't been tested.
No, go to LSU at night and beat them on the road.
Out of the timeout. And trying to run for it. And they're going to get there. DeMarcus Robinson takes it in from 3 out. And this Texas Tech team looks defeated in more ways than one.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. You run the football and you continue to run it, and the defense is on the field, and we have the time of possession.
K-State 54 is now wearing 82.
The time of possession, as lopsided as it is defeating. It is demoralizing. You know, you try to get off the field, try to stop them, but this offense has not been able to create enough plays to stay on the field long enough.
It was a drive of over 7 minutes as Jack Cantelli comes in to attempt the extra point. We're going to take one final timeout back in Manhattan in a moment. 45-13 Wildcats. There's Vincent Testaverde, 3rd-string quarterback tonight for Texas Tech. Dad Vinny, the Heisman winner in 1986, former teammate of yours with the Jets.
He was. I caught a few touchdowns from Vinny, but I tell you, Vincent, he's got an opportunity. Only 2 years football experience. You think coming from a football quarterback, Dad, but they didn't push him. He was a basketball player. Came on strong, said, Dad, I want to play football, and he supported him. And there's no better person to mentor him than Vinny Testaverde. I'll tell you, he's been a mentor of mine personally. We lived close together in Tampa. I've watched Vincent in 2 years of high school, and he's gravitated and grasped so much just in 2 seasons. And you talk to Cliff Kingsbury, he says the kid can spin it. He's got great authority with the football. He's just got to learn and pick up the offense and get it down. And he's going to get his shot at some point in his career.
He was almost the backup tonight because Davis Webb was in question most of the week, and Patrick Holmes, if Webb couldn't play in this game, it was going to be Mahomes getting the start and Testaverde backing up, but Webb has played the entire night. There is a flag down on that return. We may still see Mahomes yet before the night's over. Greg Burks and the crew have had a lot of penalties to talk through tonight. Most of them Texas Tech penalties.
Personal foul, number 9, receiving team, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Another one on the Red Raiders. That makes 9. Monday, Russell Wilson and the dominant Seahawks offense on the road in an NFC matchup against Kirk Cousins and the Redskins. Monday at 8:15 on ESPN and watch ESPN. No other night is Monday night. Last week, the Chiefs put a whooping on the Pats on Monday Night Football. See what happens this week. There is Patrick Mahomes. Going to take some snaps for Texas Tech. True freshman quarterback's going to run. Trying to find that sideline, and he takes a hit near the first down marker. This is the second college football game for Patrick Mahomes. He played last week against Oklahoma State after Webb injured that shoulder.
He had a tough series, too. It was a sack, and an interception. So, you know, he's a different style quarterback. He's got some athleticism. You see him there. He is a runner. He's got a very strong arm. They like him. A lot of young faces here. A lot of competition here in the future at the quarterback position for Texas Tech.
He throws for a first down. It's caught by Batson. And Pat Mahomes has a famous dad, too. His dad, pitcher in the major leagues for a long time. Pitched 11 seasons in the major leagues. And Patrick, a very good baseball player in his own right. Drafted in the 37th round by the Tigers in June, as Will Davis, the linebacker for Kansas State, is shaken up on the play. In fact, Texas Tech offered Patrick Mahomes a chance to play both football and baseball. And that's why he wanted to come to Texas Tech.
It's good he has that option. I mean, you know, listen, it's hard to play two sports, handle and juggle your curriculum here as far as your education standpoint. So it's good to see him take that on, see how it goes for him.
Good outfielder. In fact, plays everywhere on the field, on the mound through a no-hitter this past spring. Out of the gun, draw play. Justin Stockton steps out of a tackle and hit hard at about the 25-yard line. Dylan Schellenberg, the free safety, get credit with the tackle. What a unit this Kansas State defense is. I'm impressed by him.
And with 2 minutes left in this game, they just cracked the 300 yards total offense for an offense that scores and points and also gets over 500 yards offense per game.
Sadler quickly wrapped up. A pickup of about 4. So third down, about 5 here as Kansas State is going to go to 4-1 on the year, 2-0 in the Big 12. Have some time to rest up and think about a trip to Oklahoma here in a couple of weeks. Patrick Mahomes, he'll throw. Zips it to the receiver, Polite Bray, who almost had a touchdown in this game but was ruled out of bounds. And there's a no catch in the back of the end zone earlier. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down. Now Mahomes again to Polite Bray, and he'll be down at the 41.
DJ Polite Bray with the reception.
Well, Mahomes has looked pretty good here in his few snaps. Under a minute to play here in Manhattan. Ooh, look out. Ryan Mueller had him in his sights from the snap of the football and gets in for the sack. First Kansas State sack tonight.
Just a matter of time for Ryan Mueller. And like we said, the motor and the engine doesn't stop with this kid. He continues to churn and churn. That's his first solo sack of the season. They gave him a half on a play, but he did it by himself there. And I'll tell you what, he's a high effort player. You got to love his game and what he does.
And that's incomplete. Yeah, Mueller had 3 sacks last year against Texas Tech, and everybody's been saying, you know, it's only a matter of time before Mueller gets on track here this year, and he finally got his first full sack.
I'll say this about Kansas State's defense. I am impressed with their team defense. Everybody is disciplined in their assignments. Guys are in the right spots. No one's chasing or out of position. Those things will help them when they start playing into their schedule. When the Baylors come to town, the Oklahomas.
Mahomes throws it complete to the 30-yard line. And Lauderdale gets credit with the catch. 6 seconds to go. Tonight's Wrangler 5-star player of the game. There he is, Tyler Lockett. Game for him, 21 catches, 273 yards for him and Sexton, 4 total touchdowns.
Hard to pick just one. You got to give them both. That's for sure.
Almost intercepted, and that does it. 45-13. Bill Snyder's Wildcats go to 4-1 on the year, 2-0 in the Big 12.
It's a great win. I'll tell you, this team is putting themselves in position to have an opportunity in the Big 12, and they're going to get some big games coming up on their schedule. They've already played a tough game with Auburn. They set the table. They win last week. They win this week. Again, this team's got a great chance moving forward in the Big 12.
And a wonderful game for Jake Waters. And now they've got a bye week before they go to Oklahoma. Impressive win, 45-13 Kansas State over Texas Tech. Coming up next, we go to the Georgia Dome. South Carolina State, North Carolina A&T. So long from Manhattan.